Welcome back to Let's Play Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. I'm BurningDogFace, and last time it was very strange. I got my hands on a sword made of fire, and some kind of shockwave attack. I'm still not entirely clear where I'm meant to be going. I have had a couple comments, gave hints beyond the maelstrom, with emphasis on beyond was one of them. But before we jump into that, shout out to Elthwar, who says, I guess how they described the ranged attack as telekinetic rather than fire was something to suggest that it could be used underwater, but again, this was from the era in which there should be a little manual that could explain some of the controls for players. Personally, I think remakes of older games should include the ability to view some of those manuals and feelies through the menu to ensure that the game experience remains complete. Feelies are physical items that came with the game, like a cloth map or like a decoder ring you'd need to solve an in-game puzzle. Although they haven't really done that one since the fucking the NES era, as far as I know. Yeah, there was a particularly infamous case, an NES game. I think it was called Star Tropics, where one of the puzzles in a game required, except the only way to find out where it was to take the map that came with the game and submerge it in hot water to make hidden symbols appear. Because if you're just playing the fucking ROM, or indeed a digital re-release, you're just kind of fucked. Although I think my favorite example ever was Metal Gear Solid 1, where a character has to change her, well, it wasn't a radio, it was a codec system, but basically a radio frequency, that's the word. Except then she forgets to tell you what the one she's changing it to, so you can't get in touch with her. And if you ask the other guys, one of them will suggest, well, have you tried looking at the back of the box? I got no ideas. And if you look at the back of the box, one of the screenshots on there actually does show you talking to her with a different number. They even recreated this for the version of the game that is currently hosted on Steam by making that screenshot one of the ones on the Steam store. That's really funny to me. But I mention this because that gave me an idea. I went and looked, and this game did not come with a manual. But my Steam copy of the original Soul Reaver did. And lo and behold, there was some very interesting lore in there. Lord Kain and the Story of Nosgoth. Dark Gods. A millennium has passed since Lord Kain set his capital in the ruins of the Pillars of Nosgoth and began his conquest of the world. His first act was to recruit a cadre. Dipping into the underworld, Kain snared 6 souls and thus birthed his lieutenants, of which I, Raziel, was one. We, in turn, prowled the twilight of purgatory, building 6 legions of vampires to pillage Nosgoth. The destruction of the major human kingdoms was inevitable. Within 100 years, humanity had been thoroughly domesticated. To be sure, there remained some feral humans scattered across the hinterlands, clinging to their hopeless holy war to rid Nosgoth of the vampire scourge. They were tolerated. They made existence for the fledglings more challenging. After the taming of the humans, our real work began, shaping Nosgoth to our will. Around the pillars, slaves constructed a shrine worthy of our new age, worthy of our new renaissance. Huge furnaces were built to belch smoke into the sky, shielding the land from the poisonous effects of the sun. Never had the world known a time of such beauty. However, we grew bored. We allowed the remains of the legions, the lesser vampires, to have their intrigues. They provided amusement and spice to an increasingly uninspired court. As faction fell against faction, We bet upon the outcome. We helped and foiled plots at our whim. We were the Council, and Lord Kain our only master. Raziel. The humans think it is a poison of the blood that makes us what we are. Fools, the blood only feeds the bodies we live in. To create a vampire, one must steal a soul from the abyss to reanimate the corpse. It is the body that demands the blood sacrifice. Our souls gain their advantage from the powers of the underworld. As we matured, our earthly bodies evolved into a higher form. We assumed the powers and nobility of the dark gods. With each change, the trivial affairs of vampire and man held less interest. Always it was Kain that would change first. After the master had experienced a new gift, one of us would follow in a decade or so. That is, until I had the audacity to evolve before my master. I was gifted with wings, and for my impertinence I was damned. The Elder. To us the touch of water is agony. It burns our flesh like acid. My punishment was to be cast into the lake of the dead, our execution ground for traitors and weaklings. As my brethren heaved me into the air, I could see the bemused expressions on their faces, the transitory thrill of something new. Then the pain. Melting, twisting, burning, falling. A new experience indeed. Time. I have no concept of how long I fell. Only that there was an end to the fall, and through the pain I heard the voice. At first I thought it merely the echoes of my own tortured mind, but I grew to understand that it was more. Something primal. Something angry. Something righteous. Something ancient. The Elder explained much to me. It told me of creation, of death, of souls, and of hunger. For eons the Elder fed upon the souls of Nosgoth. Then Kain's vampire dynasty deprived the Elder of sustenance. For centuries his hunger grew and festered in this place. The Elder offered me a solution to my sorry existence. If I would stalk the material realm, slaying my former brethren, then I would have the chance to avenge myself against Kain. How could one refuse such an offer? Oh hey, don't mind me, I just got tired of waiting for past me, so thought I'd get in here, get things started. That's very silly. And shout out to Clowny Nerf, who comments rather wryly on that situation by saying, Raziel, stick your badass sword in this fire and make it even cooler. Now that shit can use fire. Empty room with no bad guys. Immediately has to go for a swim. And you know, I actually thought about, just going intangible and going through the water, but A, I'm not sure that would even work, and B, it never occurred to me that I wouldn't be able to just toggle back and forth between normal and fire with a button or something. But, more to the point, I guess that was in the manual the first time. Yes, here's the page for the Soul Reaver, with a bunch of information about it. Only weapon in the game that Raziel can carry between realms, evolves through the game acquiring new powerful abilities. Yes, in the physical realm, you'll be at full health. It's all this, it's all there. But towards the bottom, in italics, it says, when Raziel finds the Fire Forge, he can baptize the Soul Reaver in it, and the blade will become imbued with fire. Once baptized, the blade can be re-imbued at any time by passing it through a fire source. Oh, actually, that part there I didn't know. If Raziel is damaged and the Soul Reaver disappears, it must be re-imbued with fire when Raziel returns to full health and the Soul Reaver reappears. When the Soul Reaver is charged with fire, vampires are burned by its slashes, and its projectiles will set them alight. Note, in the spectral realm, the Soul Reaver cannot be elementally imbued. Okay. Now, there was a comment in here. I'm trying not to let this go for, crazy too long. There was a comment in here that I wanted to examine. Yes, Darthinian left a rather lengthy comment I will get to in total next time, but I did want to mention here, lastly, do not be afraid to explore. Remember the first time he ever became physical? And I thought I would go examine the place where that happened, just in case there's something I'm missing. Because that was just down here, wasn't it? First was the room where they taught me how to feed, / murder those, sluah. Oh, there's just magical energy lying around now. Huh. Do I even need that? No. On a side note, what the hell kind of fucked up magic must they have used to make this soul font? With more ammonite symbols on it. I couldn't remember the words for them, but those fossils that are lining the grounds and walls are called ammonites. The, pointy, spiral-shelled, creatures that I believe were predecessors to snails. Oh, I always love really, really, really ancient life form designs because it's a lot like back then nature was just going, fuck it, we'll figure something out. Oh, this doesn't work? I guess they're going extinct then. Like the fish that looks like it has a buzzsaw for a lower jaw, but it's actually just a spiral-shaped bone. Excuse me. See, these spirals are more like giant fingerprints. I hate that. Maybe it turns out this whole time the Elder is acting against the two fingers. Oh. Okay, I think that leads to the sanctuary. No, I can see by the symbols above the door that leads to, was that Zephon's? So I guess that leads to the cathedral. Where does the other one go? I came in through there, and I'm looking at that cave. What's in here? Yeah, that cave closes up. That's just not there anymore. Oh. Oh, yes, that was here, wasn't it? It's a strange place to put that. Can I get up there? Can I get up there here? Oh, actually, yes. Some of them get shorter. Oh, fuck, I had no forward momentum there. Fucking... Oh, I am not feeling the vibe here. Quietly hoping that, No, wait, it doesn't matter if I can get up here like this. There's not a second energy focus for me to go back to the meat space. This is silly. Oh, never mind. They become even shorter here. At least every one of them becomes longer. Oh, for fuck's sake, me. Uh-oh. Well, that worked out. And what have we here? Is it just an ammo thing, or... Yeah, I guess it is. It's making that noise while I'm standing here. That's weird. Fun, though. I think this might be leading me to an area I'd forgotten about. Is this where I first saw Dumas boys? Yeah, it was. There's the dead guy. I guess I was out to lunch. But still, I'm glad I checked. Where does this even go? Oh, that's right, it leads to the necropolis in the end. Oh. Oh. Well, there's a big old bonfire. Let me try this. Nice! Special animation where he just waves the sword through it and it turns orange. Hey, shithead! Oh, it does the burning animation now. He doesn't just blow apart into gibs. Alright, let's test the theory I had earlier. Oh yeah, it does turn green again on this side, which is the normal color in Ethereal Recall. Maybe that guy without even looking in his direction. Damn. But yes, this is the Citadel. I mean, I guess if I'm here, I might as well ask Ariel. It's weird that they make those noises as they step, given that they have no physical mass. I like how those pillars become twisted on the other side. It doesn't change anything about them, and I can't climb up them. They just become all spirally. Oh no! What happens if I leave that soul? I guess the slew I'll get it. Damn, I didn't like anything about the description of that opening, though. I gotta say, ranging from using the word domesticated to describe the human species, to, well, I really didn't like the suggestion that the only reason the Elder is doing any of this is because he's hungry. And pissed that we're hogging all the souls. So, when he devours souls, do they reincarnate? Or is that just the pitch to me for the ones I eat? And an infinitesimally smaller number, I would have to guess. I think it was the eyeball. No, yeah, the eyeball that causes mana regeneration. So let me just go ahead and unleash a shockwave for no real reason. Force! Oh.
May you find peace here, Raziel.
I was going to comment on the irony of a ghost saying that to someone, and then I kind of remembered. I think it becomes unironic again if she's talking to a revenant. Hello.
Beyond the cliffs that witnessed your execution, a silent city sits in frozen tableau. Locked in eternal limbo, they await redemption or release.
I wonder why her ghost has no legs. It doesn't look like they're, like, gorily removed. They're just not there. Maybe it's like how, Casper has no legs when he flies. Right. So, yeah, beyond the maelstrom. That was clever. I've got some very clever viewers. I dare say they didn't enjoy that very much. And I'm no fool, I remember what I need to do. Oh, look, there doesn't even seem to be a way to open this door. Maybe this is Melchiah's entrance back in the day. Wait. This blue flame. Oh, no. Oh, right, because I guess that fire is, you know, real. Oh, over there. Excuse me. The Ethereal Realm reminds me of a very strange novel I read when I was a kid, called, oh, what was it? Aqua Cycle? It was about a group of people who agree to an experiment where they get placed out of phase with much of the rest of the world. And while they're out of phase, they can, you know, walk on the ground, but they can't make any physical interaction with water. They just go straight through it like a ghost. So these people's mission is to take some bikes that have also been rendered out of phase and ride them across the floor of the ocean to reach the other side. It was a very strange book. Powerful lights when they're at the bottom of the fucking ocean and all that. Oh, Myrrh Cycle, that's what it was. Yes, yes. Alright, I came in through there. Oh, right, he doesn't even feel that anymore because he's got, Can I climb that? No. However, I can move it out of the way. Nice. Shit, I was thinking about something and I massively distracted myself. I did kind of get the vibe from that lore bit in the manual for the original game that this was very much a matter of Raziel being arrogant enough to think he could pull that off. As if he seriously thought that Kain wasn't going to do something about it. Perhaps he'd be impressed that he was able to surpass him. Spoiler warning, evil characters never do this. Back into the world. But popping in and out of material existence can be really awkward depending on what's around you at the time. Oh, you shit piece. Timer. I'm gonna just beat his fucking head in with a rock. Oh, hey! forgot I was right there. God damn it. Yes, I did forget those two areas are basically right next to each other, but hey. Let me get some of my thoughts out anyway. I'll just bring you over there. Oh, you know what? There's actually a fountain right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and... Oh. The embers and the ashes on this side of the bonfire are green, even though the fire is blue. You think it wouldn't look like that if it was fire and not, say, electricity? Now then. I'm BurningDogFace, and I'll see you on the next episode of Let's Play Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. When we get over to the lake and see what we can find. Till then, have yourselves a lovely day, Burning Dog fans.